Welcome again to another episode of the Serenity Show. Today I have my really good friend, Tess Talle. We have known each other for, I think, 6 years now, ever since I became a nurse. She's been a nurse herself at Children's Hospital Los Angeles for almost 11 years. But prior to all of that, we happened to go to the same nursing school without knowing, which was funny. But now on top of being a nurse, she is into self-love, lifestyle, and health coaching. And as a pastime and a passion of hers, she's also a singer and dancer. So welcome, Tess, to the show.
Thanks. Thank you so
much. So we're first going to start off the whole interview asking you about your story and about your struggles that kind of got you to where you are now.
Well, to put it in a nutshell, multiple broken relationships. I think dealing with the pain of loss and grief and shame and isolation and depression and all of that heavy stuff really, it changed my perspective and I wanted to look inwards.
Mm-hmm. So what was your first step in looking inwards, or what did you do first?
Well, I turned my energy and my focus in to take a reassessment of myself and my beliefs. And then in doing so, I learned about the power of awareness. So that's where this all kind of started. And I wanted to heal myself from inside out. So that I could evolve into a better me. So I searched for help. I was always one to grow up with coaches as a singer and a dancer. So it was easy for me to search for help and search for coaches. At first, I got in touch with a spiritual coach, Suzanne Hine. She helped me into reigniting my passion for music again, and also helped me get into like self-guided meditation. So that was, I'd never practiced meditation first of all before, so that was a good skill set to learn. And then she challenged me to there was a 30-day challenge. She said, set your sights on something you never thought you could do. And for me, regarding music at the time, that was learning a new song and posting it for 30 days every day. Mm-hmm. I was like, there's no way. But I was able to surpass, I didn't reach the 30 days, but I did it almost every day, and I had never done that before. So I think in a sense that was giving myself another opportunity to prove to myself that I can reach whatever goal that I want to. I'm sort of going on tangents.
No, it's okay. That's amazing though. So back to the self-guided meditation, What's the difference between a regular meditation versus the self-guided one?
Well, with the self-guided, she'll send you an email and every day, and when you read that email, it goes through the things you should think about, or like how to kind of sit in a meditation, how the things that might come up. She kind of coaches you through it. And so instead of like a live meditation or like an app driven meditation, basically is what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So she coaches you through being able to do it on your own by giving you these emails that were drawn out to help you do it on your own. Mm-hmm.
Perfect. And you said your biggest struggle were mostly broken relationships. Mm-hmm. What limiting beliefs did you hold about yourself because of those broken relationships?
That I wasn't a good person. That I wasn't a good friend. I think those were the two main things. And that was really hard to swallow. And I know that it's not true about me, but at the time, that's where the shame came in, because that's where, when you're receiving the negative feedback from the other party, it's hard not to think, like, to really take it personally with all of you, as opposed to taking it as okay, like a how do I say this? As opposed to taking it as a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I took it very, like, to the core, like, oh, I really believed what they said.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at the time I didn't have such a good foundation in myself, like a solid foundation for who I was and my beliefs, and believing in myself
Mm-hmm.
at all. So,
And was meditation the self-guided meditation the thing that helped you the most to break through it, or was there something else that she coached you through the process to be able to break through those beliefs?
that was mainly the big thing that she helped coach us through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And so how did your struggle in terms of the broken relationships lead you to your current passion and purpose?
Well, I think that over time, I've noticed that through my story and through the work that I'm doing on myself, I've kind of grown to a different level of passion for healthcare. And I'm not talking like, I mean, I'm saying more than the inpatient nursing hospital care. I'm talking like 360 view human healthcare, like the real healthcare
Mm-hmm.
is what I'm calling it. And this is why I'm such a fan of Serenity, because it encompasses the entire human, the spirit, the body, and the mind. And I think that as I'm going through my journey, I'm becoming a coach to others who want to discover the power of self-love, because that's what's been happening to me. It's been this process of turning inwards, turning the focus on me, and really finding out what I'm made of, finding out what my beliefs are, reevaluating my values, and my standards. And so I think through this entire process, I'm able to not only experience it for myself, but help others along the way who may be in that spot where I was, maybe not the exact same spot, but in the spot where you feel like you are needing help, and you're grasping for it, and you don't have like a groundwork to work on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in terms of self-love, I know a lot of people, they want to please their family, they want to please their friends, and they want to do the best for their work or their job. Why do you say or believe self-care is most important, or self-love is most important?
I love that you asked that, because it's crazy how much that self-love is actually it needs to be practiced more. Can you ask the question one more time?
Yes. In terms of self-love and self-care, I know me personally too, I'm a recovering people pleaser. So
Yeah.
I want to ask this for all the other ladies in terms of, as women and as moms, we like to please everybody else first in terms of our family, our friends, maybe our coworkers, our bosses. Why do you believe that self-care and self-love is the most important in order to be the best for everybody else around you?
It's because I think it's, well, setting boundaries. Otherwise, what will you stand for if you don't have that, that grounding in yourself? If you don't have that grounding in yourself, it'll be easy to get rolled on or stomped over, or to please people.
Mm-hmm.
When really all you really need to do is look inside, and there will be no need to please people, basically, if you are looking inwards and you're satisfied with who you are, loving everything about you, flaws and all. I just really I believe it starts from within. Otherwise, if you're looking outwards, you're going to constantly be looking everywhere, constantly being in that chasing state.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that as coaches, we're very much attuned to that language, right? That chasing state versus attracting state.
Mm-hmm.
So like self-love is a form of that attracting state. And so the more, it almost is sort of counterintuitive. The more you love yourself, the more you'll receive what you've been chasing for. To put it bluntly.
That's so true.
That's why I believe self-love is so important at the core of so many things. It could branch off into literally everything.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And what do you do now as a daily practice that are non-negotiable as part of your self-care and self-love routine?
I do any form of personal development. So either it's personal development or some sort of practice of self-love. So I have so many forms of doing this. I just like to keep things interesting. That's just how I work. Podcasts, like all the podcasts, journaling, meditation, reflection, gratitude practice. I think those are super important. And then dancing and music here and there.
Yay,
Those help me
amazing.
connect myself.
And I know, so your main struggle were broken relationships, but how did you end up surrounding yourself with uplifting people who kind of had the same mindset as you in terms of personal growth and able to help you reach your goals and your dreams?
I think that once I started sharing my story, and it didn't have to be like full details of my story, right? Once I started sharing my feelings and being vulnerable, I think that's when connections started happening, and it sort of gave others permission to do the same. And so, and there's that attracting state again. If you learn to accept what is and who you are, you will attract that same energy. And so I've been not only like just sitting that in myself, but also going out and searching for it. So like on social media, I'm very aware of the people I follow, the content that I read. Also like within the friends circle, very aware of who I just be a certain way, who, be me. And then whoever attracts or connects with that vibe, then I keep those people close.
That's amazing. And I've taken Tess to some of the personal development events that we've gone to together. And I just love seeing her connect with other people there as well. Because she is so high vibe, all these people are now friends with her, even though we probably would not have met them otherwise, besides going to those events as well. So
those events are so fun.
What was that?
Those events are so fun because you're right. Everybody is just on the same vibe, and such just good energy, and you meet new good people.
Yes. Connections always.
Yeah.
And what do
Yeah.
you do now to help inspire and help other people? I know you're a nurse and you're always helping in the hospital, but in terms of your coaching, what do you foresee yourself doing in order to inspire more people?
Honestly, keep doing me, keep living out my story, sharing my revelations and writing on social media. I feel like, I mean, this is a technological age,
Mm-hmm.
so social media is huge. I believe that like authentically sharing and being vulnerable is what brings people together. Like it's all about connection.
Yeah.
So I just try to live and show up authentically in everything I do. Um, and it always comes back to the work I'm doing on myself too. Uh, so yeah, all
That's
those things.
amazing. And despite all the personal development you are doing now, I'm sure life still brings its lemons and its roadblocks. So what do you
Yep.
do to kind of move past them or continue to move forward?
Yeah, it's like this, right? And for me, learning to ride the wave has been the ultimate goal, an ultimate challenge. Because it's all good vibes when everything's good, but then when things get not so great, what I do is meet myself where I'm at, and sometimes this takes like sitting in silence or journaling or meditating, or singing. Sometimes I have to like physically, literally get the tension out of my body. So like moving the energy around, like exercising, dancing. Those are the big things for me. Um, and now I look at, so once I am able to do these things, it helps me just kind of reset so that I can look at roadblocks as challenges, and then ask myself how I can overcome and picture what I want to happen. Because I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of the answers come from within after all the noise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think if we start to get emotional in the moment and we end up not, doing what's best for us rather than, like you said, getting it out and feeling it and healing it and then tackling the challenge that way.
Totally.
That's amazing. And like this whole interview series is about moving from our struggles and finding our strength within it. But also I want to inspire these women to find serenity despite all of life's challenges. So what does serenity mean to you?
To me, it means peace with the now, not with the past or what's going to be in the future, with the now, being where you are now and being okay with it and loving yourself wherever you are in life.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on and spending the time with us today. How can people connect with you and find you and be able to support you in what you're doing?
Thank you. First of all, thank you for having me and for doing this and spreading the word, because it's about connection, and I love that you're doing that. So people can connect with me mostly on Instagram. I'm very much so on Instagram often. It's the dot tessie dot life, so THD.TESSIE dot life, or there's Facebook, Tess Narciso Talle.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And I'll link everything below. And thank you again for coming on. And there you have it, guys. Until next time, I hope you continue to live the life you love. And we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.